40 years after John Lennon's "We're Bigger Than Jesus" statement, the Vatican has forgiven the Beatles. But former Beatle Ringo Starr, he thinks the church might have its priorities misplaced. Listen.
Didn't they say, the Vatican say we were satanic? Possibly satanic, and they still forgive us. I think the Vatican should, I think they've got more to talk about than the Beatles.
I want to hold your hand, very satanic. Why is the church forgiving them 40 years later? Hey, I still haven't forgiven Maria Senzagula for making fun of my Bermuda shorts, and that was 51 years ago, okay? Joining me to talk about this and other stories are actor Cheech Marin, entertainment journalist Paula Froelich, and comedian Carey Riley. Okay, does Ringo have a point, you guys? Shouldn't the Vatican have more on its mind right now than the Beatles? Where is this coming from?
I think they've cast all their stones and they want them back. Like, they realize, oh my gosh, like, you know, we got our own problems. We shouldn't have judged, you know, maybe everybody could not judge us so much.
The Vatican?
Really?
Yeah, I do.
So it's a mea culpa sort of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
Yes,
it's
it
PR
is.
and marketing 101.
Oh.
Look over there, shiny object. Don't look at me while I've got my hands down some young boy's pants. It's unbelievable.
What do you think, Cheech?
Well, Biff Rose, a famous comedian, said that the Catholic Church prepares you for anything that can happen here in the 12th century. And I'm pretty much
the Vatican said this. I'll read it to you, what he said in its official newspaper. It's true they took drugs, lived life to excess because of their success, even said they were bigger than Jesus, and put out mysterious messages that were possibly even satanic.
Does that mean we're all forgiven?
But
Yeah,
would pop, this is the part that's sweet, but would pop music have been, what would pop music have been like without the Beatles? Now, what is the most, first of all, what's the most satanic message? What are they talking about?
Well, because you could play their records backward, and they
Who
were
does
like,
that?
I love Satan.
Who plays
I
a
love
record
Satan.
backwards?
Who's got the time for that? And you can play anything backwards, and there's all jarble and nonsense.
Well, I don't know. I watched a couple of his movies in high school, and
it's all
I played
about
everything
Jesus.
backwards.
You know, Cheech,
Yes,
in the 90s, the Vatican claimed the music of Pink Floyd, Queen, Black Sabbath, and the Eagles contained subliminal satanic influences. Now, you're a Catholic, right?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Well, you know more, you're
no,
elapsed?
No, I'm elapsed, yeah. But, I mean, they say it like it's a bad thing, you know? I mean, it's like, come on.
Well, does Satan speak to you through the Eagles?
No, I'm not on his Facebook, so, you know, he doesn't contact me.
Do you believe in Satan at all?
No, I don't.
Oh, I do.
don't.
You believe in
100%.
Satan?
Have you met my ex?
No, I haven't actually.
You should be my ex, and then you would.
Well, you know, I think that it's when you start bringing up Jesus, I don't care what you talk about with religion, but when you bring up the Holy Son, then heads fly and people get angry. And I think that's the problem. When you make it personal and you talk about the Messiah, then people get mad and they start
John Lennon saying that we're more popular than Jesus?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, Jesus was not around during this media age, and he was really referring to the times, I think.
Jesus is always around.
He was high half
Really,
the time,
that's
wasn't he?
just
Don't enjoy
I know, it is wrong of him, I guess,
You know what?
to
Let's
make
just
that.
look at the
It is.
timing. It's
It is
ridiculous
wrong.
timing.
It was disrespectful, but you know, John Lennon was very audacious and would say. Now, the Vatican did not forgive the other bands. What about ABBA? Is anyone going to forgive ABBA for making that movie Mamma Mia?
You know what?
Come
That
to the
lady,
screen.
that lady was a
Yeah.
dirty, dirty slut, had sex with 3 men on 3 same nights, and let me tell you, didn't know who her baby daddy was.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's move on. The latest celebrity trend, I love this, seems to be letting it all hang out, sometimes literally. Stars like Jessica Simpson and Britney Spears are the latest to be photographed without the aid of Photoshop or photo retouching. Okay? Allure magazine, I wish I was that modest. I still want to, you know, retouch headshots from 25 years ago. But Allure magazine has been expressing this general trend of natural beauty, a new form of look at me in the buff. Let's look at some of these pictures. American Idol judge careyjoy2 is posing in the buff. Look at her. Did you see that?
It's ridiculous.
Okay, Entourage star Emmanuelle Chikri. We had to cover her
Notice
up.
they don't have Gabby Sidibe posing in the buff. Like, every single person posing in the buff is
It's
like...
starting to frighten me,
Every
Paula.
single person posing in the buff is like super hot naturally, and they're like, look at me, I'm not wearing makeup. And you're like, oh, such a shame.
You want to see a couple more? Wait, let's see. He likes it. Cheats like, yeah, bring them on, baby. Actress Jessica Capshaw from Grey's Anatomy. Isn't that Steven Spielberg's?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And scary movie actress Regina Hall. That's her.
Right.
All right.
Okay, those are untouched, unretouched, and unphotoshopped.
Yeah, but by the way, what they're not saying is yeah, but they don't have like bad lighting. They're all in like Barbara Streisand lighting. I mean, I can look like an angel in Barbara Streisand lighting.
That's right. That's true.
But you know what? I don't want to see people like that you get paid a lot of money to be amazing, to look natural. I'm not interested in natural.
And by the way,
I look at myself every day. I don't need it. I want to see the beauty
The
of
only
someone
person
else.
who did it right was Jamie Lee Curtis in
Yes.
More, like 8 years ago, and
Because
she was
she
like,
showed-
"I got cellulite, I got fat
Oh, you
thighs,
don't
I
think
got
she regrets
whatever."
that? I have to call her. She must be like, what
I know,
was
but
I
she's
thinking?
the only one who was honest about it. She did it in like swimsuit
come
changing
on.
room lighting.
Who cares? She's married to Chris Guest, right? What's his name?
Yeah, Christopher Hayden
think
Guest.
So who cares what you do?
Well, it's not
always
just
have a
about
career.
your husband, Karen.
Oh,
I mean,
it
there-
isn't?
There are
Oh.
the millions who are watching
boy.
you. But you know,
There's the
thing
millions
about-
who like still watch Trading Places and cry.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, these girls are in their 30s and 40s now, and they're sort of, I think that they're saying, and you can tell me how you feel about this, look at how I really look. Don't read the magazines and think that those are the true bodies. There are blemishes, there's cellulite, and this is the way we look.
Okay, here's
Isn't that sort of
Show me one of
altruistic,
their
Carrie?
blemishes.
here's the problem with that.
Can we go
The
back to
reason-
that
oh,
entourage
sorry.
chick? The Emmanuel Cookie?
Not to mention, like Jessica Simpson's on the cover of the magazine with makeup on. It's nude makeup.
No, she doesn't have makeup on. She said she didn't.
$5.
Girls.
She
Honey,
said she didn't.
Honey,
But wait a
I've been
minute.
doing this for 9.5 years. I'm telling you, I
Let's say,
don't
there
makeup.
she is. There she is. There's Jessica.
That's not the cover.
She looks beaten down, first of all.
Yeah.
Why do you have to have not makeup on
Okay,
and look like you just
that's
got
not the
beat?
cover.
All right, let's look at that. Could I have control over here, please?
Excuse me, Excuse me, Mrs. Joy.
I feel like I have my class over here. I have to control you. Let's look for one thing, just one more thing on this. Britney Spears has been getting into the act. Now, she released pre-airbrushed and then an image is from a shoot for Candies or something, those shoe company. And then she showed you the unairbrushed first and then the airbrushed. And you can see, if you can possibly see that there are marks on her body. She has a little more fat than they've photoshopped and made her look thinner. I think that was very good of her to do that.
First of all, I've seen her candies before. Haven't we all seen her candies?
Honey, we've all seen TMZ.
Too much candies.
Cheech,
you know,
are you turned on by those pictures?
If you can do them without the head, yeah, sure.
Do it without the head.
no, you don't.
What does that mean?
It means
'cause
she's a butterface.
I'm not
Everything
looking
butterface.
I'm not looking at her head. I'm looking at her body.
She's a Monet.
and I could judge
She's
it
a
from
Monet.
that.
Okay, maybe this topic will interest you.
Okay.
I doubt it, though.
Yeah. You never know.
All right. Some college students in California went digging through the trash and found a copy of Sarah Palin's contract for a speaking engagement. What do you think about college kids digging up this? That's like Woodward and Bernstein, you know?
They're on the National Enquirer payroll. It's amazing.
They need to make some money, but I saw where she's like, you know, she insists on having a black car drive her from events, right?
An SUV.
Who cares? But have
She
you
has
ever,
to have a big plane. It has
Paula,
to be a Learjet.
Over here, Paula.
have you ever
Sorry.
done a college event though? Like a 19-year-old shows up in a little Fiat, right, without the floor missing in the car, and they bring you to the event. I would say,
Look, she has legitimate things in her contract. Now, you know, I'm not a fan of hers, but she says that she wants to know the questions ahead of time. She's a performer. She's not in politics anymore. She wants the Q&A ahead of time so she can give her good answers. I don't blame her for that. Do you?
no.
Well, if she wants to be a politician and you're supposed to have be able to work off the cuff, it's basically saying she can't have another Katie Couric moment of what kind of newspapers do you read? I don't know.
Well, that's
You know.
possible.
Yes.
But I mean, I don't think it's such a bad idea to get the questions. Then she says she wants a first-class flight from Anchorage. Well, who doesn't want a first-class flight from Anchorage? She's making 100 G's every time she performs. They can cough up a first class. Would you go to a gig without a first-class
No,
flight?
absolutely
Would
not.
you?
Actually, I think it would.
He's Cheech, eh?
Wow, he's cheap.
I'd go in the steerage. I've gone before.
On Spirit, because it's a $25 upgrade. That's why. It's cheap.
Okay, here's the straw that broke the camel's back. During her speech, she said she must have bendable straws she must have. What? Now, why does she need bendable straws?
Because if the straw doesn't have the bend, there's a whole lot of this, and it's going around the
No,
cup.
she wants 2 of them so that when she starts talking about Obama being the devil, she can be like, see, and use props. It's very Glenn Beckian of her.
I'll tell you, I have to say, this chick has made $12 million since July of 2009. Yeah. Hello?
Where's the Kool-Aid?
This is why conservatives love her. She knows how to make money, this woman.
Yep.
No, this is why, but you know what's so funny? It's like she's made $12 million. She's got her health care, and if she doesn't, she goes to Canada for it anyway. And so I always look at people against health care. I'm like, look at who's telling you not to have health care. It's people making $12 million or $30 million, and they don't want their taxes, more taxes
Well, I think that she went to Canada because it was not available where she was at that time. I don't know why I'm defending her today, but for some reason, I'm on her side today.
And no, there were clinics. She went to Canada because they had full health care, and that's how they could do it.
What do you want to say?
Well, I don't. I forgot by this time. I mean,
you obviously weren't raised with women.
She was the one that's. I mean, she quit her day job. What can I say?
She quit her day job.
She quit her day job in order to make $12 million.
Well, she wants to make money. I don't blame her.
But then she's not a
she
was elected to an office and quit in the middle of it.
She quit her day job after she wasn't allowed to have perks anymore because they started going into all the stuff and the clothing that she didn't return.
I know.
She realized she couldn't get a freebie.
You guys, I want to thank you two for coming on. Hang in there, Cheech, because you're coming back a little later.